Money, money. Nothing quite like the weight of gold. One successful job, and I'm richer than I've ever been. I like the weight of it. This is great. Although, it is kind of noisy. Plus, someone could steal it off of me just as easy as I stole those engineers' plans. Maybe I should spend it. That is what I need to do. I need to spend it. What to get, though? What does Rouge Capitan need in this world? These throwing knives are a bit beat up. Oh, I'm no master thief at throwing these things. Should get something simpler, an easier weapon to use. A short bow. Any idiot can use a short bow. This is the 23rd year of Dawnstar. I don't need to live like those knife ears in the forests with their primitive short bows. I could get something a little more dwarven. I should get myself a crossbow. That's what I need. Rouge Capitan needs a crossbow. Oh, Master Artificer. Just who I was looking for. Do you have business here? I find myself with a little extra coin, and I was thinking I deserve something nice. And I had in mind to replace my archaic throwing knives that you could build me a crossbow. I've never built a crossbow before, but I have built a ballista. You've never built a crossbow? I look around your shop and I see great weapons. What are these if not crossbows? You don't know what a ballista is? It's just the greatest invention in siege engineering. Basically take a crossbow but make it torsion powered. You put a little slider on it. Usually needs a void. Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. That sounds exactly like a crossbow with extra steps. Whatever a ballista may be, as long as it is lightweight, I can use it one-handed, and it can cast a deadly bolt at a moment's notice, you can have my coin. A one-handed ballista? Do you have any idea how hard that would be? No one has ever done that in the history of siege engineering. If I were to do it, maybe that would make me a master artificer. You have yourself a deal. I don't know how you got here, or where you came from, or why you're dressed like that, but I can do that for you. I'll pay you now. But if you can build me something truly impressive, there will be a great reward in it for you, Master Artificer. I'm not the Master Artificer, I'm the Siege Captain. Whatever you want to be called, Siege Captain. We have a deal, here is your coin. You're gonna pay me now? Salutations. So, I had a weird visitor. This guy named Rouge Capitan came into my garage randomly, wanted me to build a one-handed ballista. Well, they asked for a crossbow, but I've never built a crossbow. Crossbows are kind of lame, let's be honest here.
But Siege Captain, what is the difference between a crossbow and a gastrofetus? You're always going on about how much you love your gastrofetus. Isn't that just a crossbow?
You're really showing how stupid you are if you think a gastrofetus is just a crossbow. Yes, it has a bow laying flat, but what a crossbow doesn't have is this cool sliding thing down the middle. That's one way that the gastrofetus is not a crossbow. There's many other reasons, I'm just not gonna go into it right now. But what makes a ballista different than a crossbow? Well, this is the power source for a ballista. Torsion. This isn't just tension, which is what a crossbow uses. Crossbow, as its bow bends, it stores its tension. This here is using torsion. Basically 2 springs made out of ropes, twisted really tight, gives the arms their power. I've talked about torsion on this channel ad nauseum. Okay, if you don't know what it is, you need to do the watching. I don't need to do the explaining. In addition to the torsion box, the ballista will also feature a slider. Now, most ballistas also have a ratcheting system to draw them back because they're so powerful you can't pull them back by hand. With the fact the quest given to me was that it needs to be used one-handed and lightweight, I'm gonna forego the ratchet system. And this leads us to my ideas and the goals of this future one-handed ballista build. You can see, it needs to be lightweight. If you look up modern handguns, the heaviest of them are about 5 pounds. So if I can build something lighter than 5 pounds, that would be a success for me. Number 2, used one-handed. If you watch the Gastrofetis video, to draw it back, you push it against the ground with it against your belly. So I was thinking with this ballista, with that slider, if you're using it one-handed, you could push it against the ground to get it to draw. You just, I don't know how you're gonna load a bolt, but maybe your mouth. Also, needs to be deadly. It'll be up for interpretation whether or not it's deadly, but we'll probably armor plate some milk jugs or something stupid, I don't know. So with all that said, let's get to the building.
Many hours of building later.
The building is done. Look at this little guy. Oh. I am really proud of this thing. It has turned out amazing. I've done a lot of shooting with it, and I'm having a lot of fun with this thing. I'm gonna show you its features. So starting up front, we of course have the slider. So this slider just fits right in the middle and slides up and down. And then we have the torsion box. I used a router to cut these grooves in, and I just glued the boards up and down, so there's no nails or screws ruining the structural integrity of the wood. It's just wood up and down, glued on each other. I cut these little grooves that you see in a lot of Roman ballistas, and I think they look pretty neat, which allows for more arm travel forward and back. We used the masonry line for the torsion boxes, the Siege Captain patent of metal on metal for the spinners on the torsion box. Learning from the ballista, when we got to a really high torsion level, the friction started becoming not enough, so these would start untwisting themselves as you drew the arms back. So I had to add these pins in. These square tubes perfectly fit the rod so that I can twist these up and get lots of torsion, and I didn't have to build a custom torsion bar. These arms, these are the second version of the arms that I built. The first ones I had the wood grain turned like 90 degrees, so they snapped really quickly. So it was just stupid. I didn't utilize the wood grain correctly. So the first jank feature of this thing, I would say, is how the torsion box is affixed to this is just kind of wood glued all around. I had a little bit of a gap in the front on the sides here because measuring is difficult, but I just kind of filled that with wood shims and wood glue. So there's a lot of surface with a lot of wood glue, plus it is getting pulled up against these wooden blocks here. So there is some physical contact, but these are just wood glued on. This whole thing is held to the frame with wood glue. Thank God modern wood glue is so strong. Hopefully I don't speak anything bad into happening by saying that. The bowstring is just paracord. I wrapped it with some bowstring serving. This metal trigger here cuts through bowstrings, but they're really easy to replace since I'm just using paracord. Moving back further in the slider here, you can see I built an actual trigger mechanism where you pull it and the trigger goes down and it springs back up. Wow, that's fancy. This trigger works pretty darn well. I'm really proud of how this turned out. With this in back, you pull the hook up to release the slider. The whole slider can then go forward. There's a groove cut down here for the trigger to slide up and down the bow. This little metal hook goes up to the bowstring. If you flick it with a bunch of force, it actually goes under it automatically and goes under the bowstring all the way up. It catches there, so it can't go any further. So the whole slider doesn't just shoop right out of the bow. As you push it back, it catches the bowstring, and then you can draw it back. So then once you get to the back, you can rock the bow forward, and that will close and catch in these metal grooves. So this can be operated one-handed, and it is pretty neat. So in its discharge state, you just shot it. Now you can rock this back to get the hooks out, and then you can flick it forward, bringing the slider up to the bowstring, and now it is ready to be cocked. And then you can put your weight on it, drawing it back, and then you rock it back, getting the hooks to engage, and now you are ready to shoot. Pretty cool. So now that it's ready to shoot, let's go shoot it. If you read the ancient sources, the ballistas are based upon the size of the dart they're shooting. So I based mine off of a 6.5-inch wooden dart. So the length of these will determine the length of the spring holes, the spring strength, the arm length, the draw length, all that. I did the math on it, and it is kind of close to mathematically perfect. Okay, so this dart's a little front heavy, a little bodkin point. You see the bow is ready to shoot. Load it in. Aim. Fire away. Look at that depth of penetration. I have a complaint about this thing. Like, when I pull this trigger, the bowstring will jump up and over it, and it is very frustrating. This trigger probably requires some fine tuning. It was working, and then I tried fine tuning it even though it was working, and I made it not work. That's classic engineer work. One-handed shot. It's in its discharge state. We rock it back to disengage the hooks. We then slide it forward. I gotta flick it so that this goes underneath the bowstring. And it is all the way forward now, ready to be drawn. It catches the bowstring, push it down, rock it back to get the hooks in place, and ready to go. So then you grab your arrow or your bolt, load it in the track. I'm like freaking Dirty Harry, dude. Those movies kind of suck. Nice. And a bullseye. So it can be used one-handed. Hopefully that rogue guy's got really good grip strength, like the Siege Captain. I want to try one of these small darts again. When the small darts actually work, they really cruise. This thing scares me every time I draw it. This is the one that's been working the best of the small darts. Ah, it worked. So you can see I missed by a wide margin. This is because I had a sight on it, and then while I was working on it, I broke it off, and then I never put a sight on it. I had a sight, but now I don't. You are not the sight. Getting these darts out really sucks too. I'm using these poplar rods, so when you're getting the dart out of the whatever target it's stuck in, you need to grab just that little bit of metal, because if you just touch this and bend it, it just snaps. Here we have our first target, a milk jug with a cow on it. That's what I'll be aiming for. I'm gonna count the distance. I don't know what the range increment on a short bow is in D&D, but it's probably further than what we're gonna be shooting. 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 steps, 10 paces. So this is out of the range of a throwing knife at least. This thing, you gotta keep your face away from it. It's also a great feature of ballistas, is every time you shoot it, these strings are getting more and more stretched. So it loses power every single shot. It's a great feature because it makes it easier to draw back. What else do you want in your weapon other than getting weaker? So again, aiming it is not the easiest feat. And there is what it does. Don't know why. It's annoying. Oh, it's lost a lot of its power. It's too easy to draw back now. Aiming for the cow. Where'd it go? Low? We'll give it one more shot. I really want these small arrows to work. This is a brand new one, never before shot. You see, if that was a heavier arrow, it would have dropped more and I would have hit the milk jug. There's footage of me hitting a milk jug from a distance. It's pretty easy to aim. Small dart, so hopefully we don't get the misfire. I think my dart broke. The tip came off. Huh. Are we ever gonna hit this thing? Accuracy 3 out of 10. So this one has never been shot before. It's only ever been misfired once. Oh my gosh. I saw it curl around it. Thanks for retrieving that, sir. I'm gonna aim right at it. I kept trying to compensate. So it's not good for hunting because this is like a rabbit-sized target, but if you think about it, that board behind it is human-sized, and I've hit that every time. Is that good copium?
Yeah.
Brother. We'll put the footage of me hitting things in. I think the biggest problem is my darts are so kittywampus, and when they're flying, they're like, whew. So I think it's a problem of the darts. It's my bolt making capabilities are not up to snuff. My ballista making capabilities, amazing.
I I don't know how much closer you can get without hitting it.
This is the one. I feel it. Just you got to feel the vibes. I'll give it one more shot. I'm so... Oh my God, what a good shot. Right in the cow. That was where I was aiming the whole time. Clean through both sides. And the only reason it stopped, I'm saying, is these fletchings on it. Oh, it's like when you get a wound, you don't want to pull it out so it'll start bleeding so much more. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna try hitting it with one of those big darts. I'm gonna just stand closer this time just to make sure I can hit it. Nice. That's so cool. It's a barbed arrow. This is the scariest part. It's retorsioned, but that means there's a lot of power on this. So drawing it back after you retorsion it is always the most fear-inducing part, but that's the fun of siege weapons. So you keep your face away from it. Oh my God! I've never felt it this powerful. We load up the heckin' chunker.
Make it count.
Oh, you can see like it like caught on the wood because it was coming in like this, it looks like, and went. It's a little front heavy. They call me the siege captain because I build them. I don't shoot them. You know, it seems like when you go further away, the bolts stabilize in flight. The biggest problem is you don't know how they're going to stabilize. Oh, what was that? What was that? They're going to stabilize. Oh, what was that? The arm doesn't look broken. It's still tensioned. Okay, let's try it. Scary, scary. We're going further back. I flinched when I shot it because I was scared. I think that horrible cracking, creaking noise I heard this wasn't up against this pin, so I think it untwisted itself into the pin. Nice. Pretty much the same as before. Did that go through it? Or did I miss? What happened? I think I must have just skimmed it. This one seems like a safety hazard. Whoa. Ugh, solid thunk. The arrow's just... We have to try to get it out of that. My arrow! My arrow! Oh. This is kind of like leather armor, isn't it? So in Dungeons and Dragons, the kind of armor you would be facing would probably be leather armor, right? You know, level 1 guy wearing level 1 armor. It's like a leather helmet. One bolt cast from Rouge Capitan himself. Oh yeah, that went through both of them. That's pretty impressive. I think so anyway. What if we shoot it straight up in the air and then we try to catch them as they come down? Well, I think the only thing left to do is to give the weapon to Rouge Capitan and see if I earned his bonus. There you have it. We have ourselves a one-handed ballista that can cast deadly darts at a moment's notice. The only thing left to do is to see if it's lightweight. So we're aiming for under 5 pounds, hopefully at least under 6. I have my doubts. 3 pounds, 13 ounces. I have to balance it so it's a little wibbly wobbly, but 3 pounds, 13 ounces. It's lightweight. 1.7 kg for you people that you like to use fake measurements. So we did it. It's lightweight. Like I said, I think the only reason why it's so obtuse to shoot one-handed is because all the weight is out front. Once that LARPing nerd gets here, we can give him his weapon and see if we've earned our bonus. Master Artificer, is my weapon ready? Oh, you're here. Your weapon is ready. That's my weapon? Ha. I have to say I'm a little bit jealous. This thing is a dream to shoot. it achieves all the goals you wanted. It's lightweight, 3 pounds, 12 ounces. It can be used one-handed, and it can cast deadly darts at a moment's notice. Not only that, this is the first ever one-handed ballista. A one-handed ballista? I told you I wanted a crossbow. What do you mean you wanted a crossbow? I told you I was building a ballista. I explained to you what a ballista was when you were here. You didn't listen. That's your fault. Yeah, you tried telling me what a ballista was, but you were being so boring about it. I told you I just wanted a crossbow. What's that? What's that on the wall? Can I buy it? No, you cannot buy my Gastrofetis. It is not for sale. That is my weapon. That's your weapon? What do you need a weapon for? You're a salesman. Just take this and get out of my sight. I expect my bonus in the mail. Fine, I'll take it. This thing better work if you expect a bonus. Here we have cameraman Ryan, seeing if he can figure it out. I mean, he saw it already, so, oh my God, he's a natural. Testing my trigger stability. So yeah, when you pull it, just pull quickly, otherwise like the bowstring might skip over. Aim lower than you think, I'd say.
Yeah, that does go up.